Hello beer troopers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter the Master of Hoppers. Today joined by
Brett.
Myces doing another 2-for-1, this time on Brazilian hoppy beers. We got some more Brazilian craft beer. I think we were one of the first YouTube channels to do a lot of Brazilian beer because we had a lot of Brazilian subscribers. We still do have a good amount of Brazilian subscribers. The biggest subscriber base is still America, which is crazy considering the amounts of European beer review nowadays and also beer from around the world.
Yeah, and also the amount of American beer reviewers.
Yeah. There's so many
reviewing almost only American beer.
Yeah.
So
maybe it's because we still do a lot of the hype.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. It's awesome. Love all you guys.
Absolutely.
So Nice Beers reached out actually to Brett. You should be my what do you call it?
External communicator.
Yeah, communications manager.
Brand manager.
No, I'm better at it now. I'm reaching out more. I actually replied to comments again. It's just been a long time because there's so many. It's hard to sometimes. So sometimes I just give you guys a like. Or a thumb, just to because I read every single comment. It's just not all the time I have the time to reply and stuff. Now I do because I'm still sent home because of the lockdown and not being able to work. So I have a lot of time on my hands. That's also why there's so much cooking stuff into.
Yeah, and I've been studying for 3 years, so you just plan your time much more. So sometimes some weeks you don't have much to do.
And the thing is also...
And some weeks you're just blasted with work.
Yeah, and like if I have the late shifts at work, when I get home, I just want to chill. Sleep, whatever, I don't know. It depends. But Nice Beers reached out. He said it would be awesome if we reviewed some more Brazilian craft beer because Beardom was getting some. So we got some. We missed out one of the beers he suggested, which was a coffee stout. From, which one was it from?
Yeah, I think it was from Salvador, the beans. Or he just... suggested coffee stouts in general.
But we got the most hyped of them all, which was Ariete or something. Ariete from Spartacus.
Yeah.
Spartacus is the most hyped brewer in Brazil at the moment, according to him. And we tried a few in blind battles, which were fun, but one of them, which is the one that made the biggest imprint in my mind, was the Neapolitan one that was just too fake for me. But I think it was also at a point where for both Brett and I, pastry stuff was getting on, it was on a downhill ride. It was like, this is not so fun anymore. But these kettle sours with loads of fruit, it's difficult style. Lots of the, because it's not an easy style to brew if you want it really done right and great, because it's not just about adding loads of extract. That's what I think a lot of people think, and because that's most of the examples. But the kettle sours were quite nice and whatnot. So but this is from two different breweries. We're trying some Dogma and we're trying some Spartacus. In today's review, as I said, hoppy beer from Brazil. Fairly fresh. They're from December, so we also should drink them
late December.
So it's from Dogma and Spartacus. Dogma I reviewed back in the day. I was one of the first people I think to talk about Risoma, which was so much like Heady Topper back then. It looks like they've gone full on haze since. I've done a couple other reviews, Mosaic Lover and Stigma or something I think it was called. So we've done some, most of which have been sent from Brazilian subscribers because we got beer mail from all the way from Brazil back in the day too, crazy. Which is crazy.
That's far away.
Yeah. We got a few people from Brazil helping us out with beer back in the day and over the years, which is awesome. So now we're getting them in Europe once in a while, so we can check them out ourselves. So from Dogma, we're going to be checking out the Hop is in the Head number 7. And from Spartacus, we're going to be checking out their Art of Memory. This is a triple dry hop, and it's triple dry hopped, and this is a double IPA. It's just this juicy double IPA.
10%, 9%.
9.1%.
So 9.1.
Yeah, so we mashed them together because they're almost in the same range because they're very strong IPAs. But I think we're going to start off with this one.
Yes, and this one is Mosaic, Wakatsu, and Styrian Wolf hops. And
Styrian Wolf is an attempt from, I think it's Slovakia or Slovenia or something like that, at making new school hops. Where they make a lot of Styrian hops, Styrian Golden, for example, and whatnot. Just like a lot of German producers have tried to do and whatnot.
Yes.
So,
let's try this one first.
Looks very hazy. Darker orange color.
Very murky actually.
This is so pin bright, but this is it looks a lot like, almost if you look on the camera, it looks a lot like an Equilibrium beer because they also have that orangey darker hue.
Yes, absolutely.
Wait, let's check out the aroma.
And it's actually it's in that vein.
Yeah, very estery, but also very candy-like.
Mm-hmm.
And also big shout out, of course, to Beer Dome that had all these releases.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's very much in that super gushing, overripe, tropical. Yeah.
Very kiwi fruity for me, and like Starburst candy, Starburst gummy, or like I guess it's kind of like saltwater taffy. It's like these. Mawam in Europe, I guess those kind of fruit.
Also like
gushing candies,
deep kind of mosaic dankness.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think it's super dank.
No,
but
it
has
mosaic just has that depth to it that many other hops don't.
And that's because you get like both a lot of fruitiness, but also a lot of earthiness and savoriness and dankness and everything.
I think there's kind of blueberry earthy vibes in there.
I just said as well, like blueberries are definitely there, but Styrian Wolf produces a very, like, it seems like that's also contributing to the brightness, because I've had one beer with it, and I remember that being quite bright and dank, but also like it had like that pineapple kush kind of vibe. That's a bit of that in there, but Mosaic also sometimes has a tendency to go to pineapple, just like Simcoe does.
Yeah.
And what was that Kashmir?
No, Wakatsu. Wakatsu is
right.
also very bright and very, lemony and kiwi and. You know, just.
But it is very bright. It smells very nice. It's very contradicting to the color.
It's kind of like it has that mosaic depth, but then also these other hops that kind of brighten it up.
And like that kind of like Southern Hemisphere grape character as well. But it smells great.
It has this green fruit kind of thing to it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Cheers, and thanks to Beer Dome for the beers. Very estery.
But it actually has some,
a little bit alcohol.
But it actually has a bit of, like an herbal.
Yeah, hop bite, especially the aftertaste.
And I think that's maybe the Styrian Wolf.
I think it's also the amount of hop. It has a little bit of a hop pellet flavor.
Yeah.
That's probably the intensity of hops, but also the duration of the dry hop. Often when you have hoppy beers, when they have a little bit of pellet flavor, it's often when there's when there's a lot of hops in a beer, like super hop saturated, and then they're just in there for a bit too long, or it's a bit too hot in the tank and whatnot. That's part of it.
Yeah.
But it's light. I imagine fresher it's been more intense. It's also really dry actually.
It's very dry.
But I think it feels like hop matter dry.
Yes, but you think up front, whoa, this is going to be gushing and sweet and tropical, but then it actually goes very dry, and the dryness to me is a bit chalky.
It has a very fun, like, spicy, almost like lemongrass or something like that. That might be Styrian Wolf. I don't know. It has a very uplifting herb.
Yeah.
And it also has,
almost like thyme.
Yeah. And it also has lots of, like, peppery spice to it. Like, it has, like, very, like, that might be classical sides of Styrian Wolf.
I think so.
And then, it has that, like, sweaty, almost blueberry, danky,
mostly up front.
Yeah, and then it transitions into more of earthiness. But it's a great IPA. Second sip there, I didn't get too much of the hop pellet flavor. No. It's almost as if your palate acclimated very quickly.
But I think it's a bit chalky.
Yeah,
there is a bit of like a chalkiness to it that is a bit. It's not off-putting, but it's just. If I had to drink this whole can by myself, it would be a bit too much.
I think so. It's not got the same level of balance of what we had earlier.
No.
But I still think
we didn't expect that either. But it's still a very nice double IPA.
But yeah, this is very nice. I think we should move on to the triple IPA 100% by Spartacus.
Yes.
Art of Memory, triple IPA.
This one, the Spartacus, is Cashmere, Talus, Simcoe, and Laurel hops.
Yeah. Talus will be really fun. You haven't had Talus yet, but Talus is... What?
No, I haven't had it. This is my first time having Talus, but Cashmere and Laurel I'm quite familiar with.
Yeah, Cashmere is great. It's very bright and dank. Laurel is it's floral. It's floral, but it's also a bit bright.
Yeah.
I think this will be very interesting because it's not usually fruits or hops you associate with like super overripe.
You don't see this combination either.
No, but Talus I think will do a lot of cool things because that doesn't only have this cool coconut and lemongrassy spice and like almost dill-like Cervejaria vibes. It also has loads of tropical fruit and whatnot. But much more pin bright. Looks very similar to monkish beers.
It's just a bit more my kind of color. But
little more lightly hazy. not as full on murky as this, but yeah, again for me also more so my color. White, off-white. Hey, let's really roll on this one. It's not as popping as the Dogma.
No, but what is there is a bit more pithy and
it's more grapefruity and zesty and citrusy.
And a bit floral maybe.
I can see undertones of the lemongrassy vibes, but it's much more muted.
Yeah, that's weird because we actually thought the Spartacus would be the freshest of the two. Yeah. But yeah, this one has much more on the aroma. If you go back to the Dogma. Yeah. Also, of course, we have less in the glass now, which helps it.
Yeah. But it has a lot of the green fruit kiwi kind of stuff. But, hey, let's give it a taste. Maybe it's more popping on the flavor. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, but it's a bit more generic. It definitely has a nice bright profile, but
yeah, like just up front, and then it goes a bit more sweet.
Yeah. It has a little bit of that like lemongrassy, maybe not coconut, just like for me it's like lemongrass and like lime and very limey, lemony citrus. Yeah. But it's like this one sings much more. It's much more popping and it has more complexity. This is it seems a bit more muddled, and they're around the same age.
Yeah, it's weird. We actually
and this is rated much higher.
We actually thought this would be fresher, or is fresher, because this just says it's from December. This says it's from the 20th.
No, this says it's just on the bottom. It just.
Oh yeah, that I read that on the website. It's apparently this is from the 20th of December.
But this doesn't have a hop pellety flavor.
No,
at all, but
it's more, it's a bit more clean finishing, but it's not as expressive.
Yeah, it doesn't have as many esters. There's not as much yeast character going on as in this one. It's definitely finished fairly clean for New England IPA. Yeah. It's a bit drier too, which is quite nice. Yeah.
But as you say, it's like lemon lime, lemon grass.
That's about it. It's like it's very simple for a 10% triple dry hop bar.
A bit of like a doughiness too,
Yeah, and wheaty breadiness and stuff like that, but it's nowhere near the same level of poppingness and everything. But we just had a crazy, amazing, great New England double IPA by Monkish that just hit all the marks. Yeah. So that's also why we're a bit colored down. We just had quite a few actually in the last few weeks of beers of that caliber.
Yeah, just generally the last few months we've had a lot of very high caliber. So, but this, like on the aroma, this is much sweeter, but it's also much more popping.
Yeah, I mean it's clearly the winner though. For me, even though it's not a battle, I just like the flavor profile and aroma more. And this is just, it feels a bit more simple.
Yeah, but again, this one still has that like slightly herbal thyme, chalky finish to it.
Yeah,
that's it's a bit. I'm not quite sure about that, but it is definitely more expressive than.
Try and take a sip of that. Like that definitely also has an herbal and hop pellety bite. That like the weird thing is, there's still no brewer other than like a few in the States that hits like these super juicy, insanely great tasting New England double, triple, whatever IPAs without those flavors. It's only a handful in the elite. Yeah. And it's crazy that that's still the case.
But I will say like breweries, like Verdant, Dea, maybe Track.
Yeah, they're more.
I think they're better than this.
I think so too in Europe.
I think they are very good.
I completely agree. Like the Track we had last week, the gold top 2 weeks ago. The gold top, what was it called?
The.
If you lose me now,
yeah,
if you leave
exactly.
me now,
if you lose me.
Yeah. So I mix it up with the song from Chicago. If you leave.
But the gold top.
Yeah, that was definitely better than both of them. But yeah, great, fantastic beers still. Not world class by any means, but just really good beers. For the hops in the head.
I'll still go like 91.
I was thinking 92, 93 for hops in the head, and 91 for the Spartacus one. I think it's or maybe just straight 90.
On that chalky finish on this one, but
I don't think it's too bad because I think the sweetness helps it along a lot.
Yeah.
I don't, I usually hate chalky IPAs, and it's just because there's yeast in suspension. That's all. That's also why it's so hazy. And often in New England IPAs, some brewers for some reason they end up, getting past that.
I will say I still like this more than this, but yeah, I'm not too keen on. There's something about that aftertaste I'm not really keen on, and I'll probably go 89.
89?
Yeah, on this one.
You think it's an 89? Yeah. I think it's definitely a 4 in Untapped. I think it's actually pretty good.
It doesn't have any flaws, but it really lacks character, I think. It is pretty decent.
It is pretty decent. 90. But it's just, it does lack character, but I don't think 89 we drop into a territory of,
yeah. It is true.
I think it's still very, very nice beer, but
it's you're right. It's a straight 90. Because there's nothing. It's actually a pretty good mouthfeel, and it's very balanced, but it just lacks something distinct.
Yeah. But if you guys had a chance to try either the Dogma, the Hops in the Head #7, or the Spartacus Art of Memory Triple Dry Hop Triple IPA, let us know what you thought of either the two or both, if you had both.
Yes.
And thanks a ton to Beer Dome for the beers. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and we're gonna say cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
See you guys in the beer review.